What age group do you recommend that they have this 10-hour course that you're talking about regarding home ownership and home economics?
The home buyer education?
Yes.
It's open to all ages.
Well, the reason I'm asking this is that in our schools, we have foregone home economics. And one of the things I do with my seniors is I teach them about income tax. In fact, I give them problems. They have incomes. There's 25 incomes. Everybody has a different one. They start with gross. They go to the federal tax on the computer. They pick out, I have a single and no dependents. They then work their gross through that. They find out Medicare rate, what FICA is, go down to state tax, they figure what that is, not single and zero. They figure out what their city is. I always have them working in a different city, because in Ohio, you're taxed by both. What I'm asking you is, I think there should be, if we're talking about the people coming up, the new generation, should there not be in our schools courses that do this income tax stuff I do on my own, and then for people like you, can we get the course integrated into mathematics? Because that's what it is. There's ratios that you use for income. The annual income, there's a ratio. How many times the annual income which you can buy a home. And I think all those things come in. Well, I'm asking, if you have a 10-hour program, I'd like to see it. Maybe I can bring it down to the level of a high school senior, because they're going to be out in the market. And nobody, how many people here, actually know what the ratio is, the income ratio to buying a home? What's the price?
Yes, the mortgage brokers who are working in Solomon Village is like 50 to 75%.
Yeah, but if I'm going to, wait a minute, just like in the medical field, you must be a knowledgeable consumer today.
Yeah.
It's the same way with the housing. Why can't our kids, the generations coming up, they know what the ratio is. They walk in and they know what's bold. They also know what ARMs are. And the fact that what's the ceiling? How can you, and little fine prints that you can raise it. That's why I wonder with our schools, this goes beyond, this is future, long range planning. Come into the state, part of the education is mandatory. That seniors graduating have this. You may want to go higher. That's why I asked you about age.
Right. Well, you should check out the state treasurer, Richard Cordray, is a leader in trying to get economics, financial literacy and education in the high schools. So if you want more resources about that, really, Treasurer Cordray, he takes that to heart, and so and sees that as our future. And so I would use him as a resource, and his movement that he's doing statewide to try to incorporate that into high school curriculum, the financial education piece, because we all have to learn by mistake, right? We all run off the credit card, we don't know how to balance a checkbook. We all have to learn that. No one teaches us that. We have to learn it on our own, and usually, we have to make a few mistakes. So that's a good point.
One more question up here.
You gave email address, site to get the information, but I don't, what did you say that site was to get the information?
Neo Can Do. It's the Case University's website. Do you know the address offhand?
I think Neo Can Do that.
Yeah.
It is a great website for social indicators. It's a great website on real estate indicators. And you can sort through a number of different ways. If you just do a Google search for Neo Can Do, you'll be able to find it. And, it can tell you foreclosure cases, it will tell you delinquencies. It'll link you then to the judicial status. It has links to it. So.
Well, thank you very much for attending tonight. Let's have a round of applause for all of us. I'd like to turn this over to Matt to close the meeting.
I want to thank Chuck. One of the responsibilities of being vice president of this organization, you also serve as the chair of the program committee. This was an excellent forum, Chuck, and I want to thank you. One take I really want you to take away with this. Let me tell you, Tony and myself, Cleveland, we've been hard hit by this. We're on the front line every day. I will tell you, the people we deal with have such pride, and they are so unwilling to pick up the phone and call Sam, or pick up in the phone and call Paula, because they don't want to admit, and they don't want to even disclose to family that their house is in foreclosure. Right. They don't even want to go out to public meetings. And that's why you heard Sam talk about organizing and get into communities and knocking on doors, that's what it's going to take. So you need to know, look for those early indicators. Delinquent on taxes. If you have the ability to access utility records, and they're late in utilities, they're late in taxes, that's a symptom that the house is next. So think about those things. You really need to be a friend. And sometimes you can't even reach out to that individual as a council person. Maybe you go to a family member of that individual and see if they can talk some sense into that person. So it's real, and people have so much pride, they don't want to admit to it. So Sam is an awesome organizer. You know, when I became councilman in my ward, we had 5 block clubs. Today we have 26. And the whole reason is you empower the community you represent. You should work on recruiting and have street clubs and block clubs, because the more captains and lieutenants you have in the community, the more empowered they are, the easier it is to legislate and do what you need to do as a council person. Remember, go to our website. It's www.NOCCAassociation.org, and it's abbreviated, so it's NOCCASSOC.org. You can go to that website and see all of our prior webcasts will be on there. This will be up there in a couple weeks, and you'll get a lot of good information. And we're also going to post Jim Ricakis' PowerPoint presentation on there. Remember the questionnaires. We'd love to see your questionnaires because we want to know what you want. What do you want to get out of this organization? We want to deliver municipal best practices to you, and we hope you enjoyed this forum, and we encourage you to take what you learned here back to your communities and know that Sam and Paula are just a phone call away. So I want to thank you for all attending, and this meeting is adjourned.